2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to go in with some onion, and that is a medium onion that I sliced up. And I've got 1 clove of garlic that I gave a rough chop to. We're going to hit that a little stir, just to flavor that oil with the garlic and the onion. We want everything to soften up but not burn. And this is fresh off the heels of that loaded corned beef or bully beef recipe I shared with you yesterday. If you're watching this later in the season, which means you got to go back and look for that video, but I'm going to show you what to do with the leftovers. So if you have some leftover corned beef, and that corned beef was fried up with bell peppers and all kind of niceties in there, but you really want to watch that video. And this is all about showing you what to do with the leftovers should you have some. Starting to see a little golden edges on the garlic and the onion. I don't want it to burn, as I said. So I'm going to go in with some fresh ground black pepper. The corned beef was cooked with habanero pepper, so I'm not going to add anything spicy. But if you wanted to go in with a habanero or Scotch bonnet pepper, you can certainly do that. I've got here half of a small cabbage that I gave a rough chop to. We're going to move that around, let it get coated with all that flavored oil. And then you're going to put the lid on it and let that cook, sort of steam cook, for about 3 or 4 minutes. In the meanwhile, if you peep over here, I've got some pasta boiling. And typically in the Caribbean, when I would do this dish, or when we had this dish, it would be macaroni. This time I'm using spirals. So yeah, that is going in here. It's been about a minute and a half. And how you cook, how tender you cook this cabbage is totally up to you. And this is one of them dishes that's relatively cheap, and you gotta give thanks that you have the opportunity to eat at some point, especially during those immigrant days, man. Yo, you eating nice. Salt, and what I like doing is hitting it with just about a half a teaspoon of curry powder as well. I said spiral as far as the noodles is concerned. I believe they're called rotini noodles, but you can use any pasta you want. And this is one of them dishes there, man. I'm telling you, man, as a new immigrant to Canada, this is something we ate kind of regular because it was, cabbage is cheap, pasta is cheap, and with 1 tin of corned beef, I mean to say a lot of people getting fed, boy. It's been about 4 minutes. Give that another quick stir. We lost a piece of cabbage. Yo, you're going back on the pot, aya. So you got that going there. Here is where we're gonna introduce that leftover fried corned beef to the pot. And as I said before, I kind of alluded to it. There's onion, garlic, bell peppers, corn, all kind of niceness in there. Just gonna give that a good mixy mix. And yo, fried corned beef is one of them things there. Man, you come home hungry on a weekday, or even a Saturday, whenever, and you want something quick and nice and comforting for a Caribbean person anyways. That thing there is pure fire dread. It's been another 3 minutes since I added the leftover corned beef to the pot here, and so this is where we're going to introduce the pasta to the pot and give it a stir, so that all that pasta soaks up all the cabbage, garlic, onion, corned beef flavor. Everything is going nicely according to plan right now, Now here's where you're going to do 2 things. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the pasta was also cooked in lightly salted water. You will taste it for salt and adjust it accordingly. Give that a good mixy mix. And you have an outstanding, relatively cheap meal. Very filling. Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, it's comforting too on those cold winter nights here in Canada. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pod. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie. And as always, I like to finish off with a little herbage. So I've got some chopped up, some rough chopped parsley in there. That's just gonna brighten everything up. Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. We took leftover fried corned beef, that video I shared with you yesterday. Some of you call it bully beef. Cabbage, relatively cheap. Pasta, relatively cheap. And we made a lovely, well, how do we call this? Yo, a one-pot pasta cabbage corned beef dish. Irie? Irie. Yep, he's back. That's the guy that was making all the noise. Polly, you got anything to say to the people this afternoon, buddy? Come on, Rasta, tell them something. Oi. Where's your shoes, man? What are you eating? Nothing to say today? Absolutely nothing to say.